Welcome to Well-Traveled Life with Jonathan and Jennifer. We are here in Bourton-on-the-Water, one of our favorite towns in the Cotswold, and we're staying at the Halford House.
But we aren't just at the Halford House. We are actually in the private garden apartment that is attached to the Halford House. So we have all the benefits of the guest house, but privacy and a kitchenette, and it's actually a kitchen.
You can actually see it over Jennifer's right shoulder. That's the glass French doors that are there, and it's an absolutely lovely little flat apartment, kitchen, bathroom, work area, beautiful bedrooms.
Huge space.
Just absolutely love
Light-filled, huge space.
And we're in a little, looks like a bocce court or a bowling court here in England. It's perfectly flat little yard surrounded by shrubs. Is that lavender over there?
Donna is the host here, the owner, and she has just done this incredible job of creating a garden oasis here in this courtyard. She has little dinette areas dotted around. She has a larger table. So really, if you were here with a family in the guest house, you could take over several rooms, or if you're like us in the apartment, and I feel weird calling it an apartment. It does not feel like an apartment to me. It feels like we're living in a gazebo or something like that.
The front room when you come in is quite large, and there's a large kind of L-shaped couch, and across from it another couch which may make into a bed. But I think depending on who was staying, one or two people could probably stay out there as well.
If we had exchange students here, they'd sleep on the couch.
Chris, you'd be very comfortable on this couch.
Yes.
I'm telling you.
So we'll take you on the tour of the apartment.
Yeah, one of the perks of staying here is that the owner also operates the Croft restaurant, which is kind of just around the corner, just across a small river.
So you're going to get to meet Donna in this video because she is a treasure. And this woman is building an empire in Bourton-on-the-Water. It's a complete win. Halford House is literally across the street, and the apartment that we rented last year is above the Croft. So she really has a little dynasty here, and I can't see her being anything but incredibly successful. And you're going to get to meet her, and I think you will love her and really enjoy her story. I have found that I've got a new friend in Bourton-on-the-Water.
And I said, okay, well, find me a large sum of money and we can do that. So,
yeah, Bourton, you'll see lots of pictures, but it's a very special town. I mean, buildings are all stone.
It's that yellow Cotswold stones.
And I get tired of saying this, but it's just beautiful. Everybody really takes care of their properties. There's a lovely stream going through town. It's crossed by many...
It's the Windrush River.
Stone bridges that are really just absolutely gorgeous. And it's kind of like Disneyland for adults in that everything is just meticulous, beautiful, and inviting. There are little gardens, there are little patios, there's vines growing all over the buildings, there are beautiful walls. This place where we're staying at is surrounded by, about an 8-foot wall, stone wall, which kind of creates a little sanctuary here. It's just absolutely gorgeous.
This really is, it's one of those towns that every view is a chocolate box view, they would call it, or in America we'd say it's a postcard view, but it is a biscuit tin on every sidewalk.
So I hope you enjoy this video.
There's so much to love here.
Bye.
If you're visiting the Cotswolds, Bourton-on-the-Water is a little bit towards the northern part of the Cotswolds. It's right off the A429, which means you have easy access on good roads. It's just about 10 minutes south of Stow-on-the-Wold, which is another gem of a town. But this village is special. You're going to love Bourton-on-the-Water. Lots to see and do, and we have a video about the entire village, but for now, let's just focus on this incredible accommodation. You've got to have a good place to stay if you're going to enjoy this town. At the top of the village, you have the High Street, which meets up with the Risington Road and the Station Road, creating a rather busy intersection, but that's where our story starts. At Halford House, you are literally in the heart of the village. And given all that traffic, you are also in the quietest sanctuary in the village. It's amazing, but that's what is offered at Halford House. Halford House is a historic home with a wall surrounding its property. It is not only the owner's family home, it is a guest house as well.
Donna had the unique opportunity to meet one of the previous owners and hear some of the house's history.
I had a visit from a gentleman maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago who used to live here.
Oh, wow.
And he reached out to me through our website, and he lived here for 17 years in the 70s and obviously the 80s, and he bought me some photographs, and we went around the whole house and he told me all the different rooms and what his family used them for. Gosh, it was fascinating. Up on the top floor, his auntie used to have a little hair salon in one of the bathrooms. I know, it was amazing, absolutely amazing. I loved it. It was great fun. There used to be a pool here. I have a photograph of a swimming pool at the front of the house. Needless to say, both of my teenagers said, well, that needs reinstating.
Parking in the village can really be problematic. So it's really a luxury that Halford House offers free gated parking to its guests. But even if you aren't coming by car, don't be fooled by the front door. That is the owner's entrance. Guests will come and go through the pedestrian gate in the wall. The gate remains unlocked so guests have access to the house and property at all times of the day or night. Upon entry, you come into the welcoming courtyard. You do need to make sure and keep the door shut as there are pets on the property. The entry to the guest house is immediately to your left, and in good weather, that door will be open. There's an interior door that stays shut that leads to the public guest areas, as well as the rooms within the main house. But from either direction, follow the signage and we're heading to the private garden apartment. The first thing you'll notice is this incredible courtyard. It is a welcoming courtyard with lots of lawn space, and that wall is giving you insulation from the traffic. And at the very back, tucked into the corner, is your little sanctuary. Just past the lavender, follow the stone path to the glass doors. On your doorstep is your own private patio. The table is lit by a lantern daily, and this will become your favorite focal point. A key will be left in the door, and you're free to lock it as necessary, but I have to tell you, we had the door open most days. This is Bear, the more aloof of the two cats that live on the premises, but he joined us inside and is prepared to give us a tour. I'm kidding, I'll give you the tour. Bear didn't stick around for long. But Dolly showed up and maybe she'd like to give a tour. No? Okay.
But she is back to help edit this video. Thanks, Dolly.
You will enter the apartment immediately into the large living area. It has 2 couches, the L-shaped one that Jonathan spoke about, and the wooden one, which may be a futon. We didn't need it for those purposes. There is a large screen smart TV as well as a console table that can also be a coffee table. There is an extra chair and a small side table in that room as well. I cannot stress how important that wall of windows is for letting in light. This room always felt bright. Check the black box on the console table, as that's where you'll find all of the information about the apartment. From the living room, we're going to move into the kitchen and dining area. The large cupboard on your left is sort of the hub of the kitchen. The top section has your microwave, there's a coffee maker, a toaster, dishes, an iron, and a wine bucket. At the very top, you have teacups, a pitcher, and a basket, which we used for fruit. Down below the oven are your pots and pans. Next to the bar sink, you have a 2-burner cooktop, a trivet, and a tea kettle. While there is not a built-in dishwasher, there is a dish rack on the counter. Below the counter is a half-size built-in refrigerator with a small freezer compartment. Donna had stocked our refrigerator with a water pitcher with a filtered water, cream for our coffee and tea, 2 damn lemon cervezas with lemon in them, which were so good. I had never had one of those. I loved that. Donna, I want more. She also left orange juice for a day, and there were chocolate mints in a tin. The kitchen has a really sleek design, which means there are no cupboard pulls or handles. All of the cupboards in the oven console open on the right side. And in that top cupboard above the oven is a really nice serving tray and your barware. The cupboard below the sink opens from the left side, and it has trash as well as some cleaning supplies. The drawers have push releases. You'll tap the center of it and find what you need inside. Silverware and cutlery in the top drawer, and a water bottle in the second drawer. The kitchen also houses the dining area with a table and 4 chairs, as well as a little nook which we made into a really nice bar area. There's only one interior door in this entire apartment, and it is what leads you from the sanctuary into the inner sanctuary. This is a large bedroom, bathroom, and work area. This sidewall is actually a cabinet which opens up for a tremendous amount of storage space, including an ironing board, a luggage rack, and a fan. The next panel opens up for the management of the mechanics and appliances and some cleaning and storage for the owner. This desk in the nook makes a great vanity, but also for us it was a perfect place to work. Although we did switch out the acrylic chair for the wooden stool. There is another large screen TV in this room. It is also a smart TV and is visible from the bed, although we also brought in the 2 chairs from the living room and were able to sit and watch TV as well. This is a large, true American king-size bed, plenty wide for 2 relatively big people. Beautiful linens are on the bed. The comforter was thick and cozy, lots of pillows. Everything about the bed was really comfortable. At each bedside, you have light switches for the task lighting above you, as well as room lighting so that you can turn the lights on and off from your bed. There are also 2 wall outlets at each bedside for all of your charging needs. Each nightstand has 2 spacious drawers, and this is a good time to say this is an apartment really suited for a long-term stay. There is enough storage space and enough living space to really be comfortable for a long time. We were here for a couple of weeks, and we easily could have moved in and stayed for the rest of our lives. At the end of the bedroom is the bathroom. This is an incredibly luxurious area. There is a large standing tub, a huge wide sink, a walk-in shower with a rainfall shower head as well as a handheld wand. The loo is behind the shower and also has a wall on the side of it. The shelf above was really helpful. And the towel rack is great for drying towels and clothes. Donna leaves a full collection of 100-acre toiletries for your use while you're in the apartment. I want to make note of a design feature here. There are only 2 windows, one in the bathroom and one in the bedroom, in this entire space, but you never feel like it's dark. Both are up high and the interior space is sort of designed around them. The glass block wall allows light from the living room to filter into the bedroom. All of this design genius results in a bright space without sacrificing wall space or privacy. The other detail that has been successful in every room of the house is the lighting. There is task lighting, ambient lighting, and overhead lighting in each room.
prior to that it was called the Sanctuary, which I think comes from the same word as the sanctuary, which is actually now really interesting that we use it as a guest house for people to come and unwind in, which is lovely.
Yeah.
Donna's home is the home where she has raised her children. And turning it into a guest house can be kind of a tricky situation, I would think. The garden apartment where we were staying used to be where her teenage children would all come and hang out, and it is affectionately known throughout the neighborhood amongst the teenage kids as the crack den. Not that there was ever any crack going on there, but it was sort of just the kids' hangout. And so to go from that to this incredible private apartment where we were staying is really a fun story. In a relatively short period of time, she has gone from family home to family-run business.
10 years. Yeah. So it was a family home, so we all kind of bundled around in here when the children were little. Big family Christmases, birthdays, and then, you know, as the children have grown and the house is just too big, and it's great for sharing. We love sharing it. It's really good fun.
Jonathan has mentioned how much breakfast at the Croft was such an important part of his experience in Bourton-on-the-Water. And we were worried that after having stayed at the flat above the Croft, that we wouldn't get breakfast if we were at Halford House. But Donna had promised us we would get our Croft breakfast. I think it's fun to look at the history of the Croft, and we aren't the only ones that love that place.
All comes from the Croft. The Croft is a little it's a little safety nest for all of us, because it's an incredible position. We've been there 24 years, so we have a good, solid name for ourselves in the village. It's not easy to borrow money these days, so the Croft creates stability for anybody. They see the figures and they go, do you know what, that's okay, we can do that. Because actually coming out of COVID was when I bought my ex out of Halford, and that was when things were very difficult for our industry. So I had to get the bank to really believe in me so I could borrow a large amount of money. So that's how I ended up with this.
Donna is living my village life dream as she takes the dogs across the street to go to work at the Croft with her, where they greet us for breakfast in the morning. Her daughter serves us. And we get to see them in the courtyard in the evenings. Being here really does give you a sense of what that village life is like.
Even if you've never flown before, you can take a chance and try once more.
Dolly and Bear are back to give us a quick tour of the town so you get an idea of what this darling village has to offer. Maybe not. They can't be bothered, but we'll take you on a tour ourselves. There are a few can't-miss attractions. The Motor Museum, the Model Village, and Birdland are the beginning of sort of the big attractions, but there are also lots of shops, cafes, ice cream stops, good pubs, and restaurants. We have a full video about Bourton-on-the-Water, a separate video about the Croft and the flat above the Croft. But in this one, we'll talk about just a few of the shops and restaurants and activities immediately around Halford House. Directly across the street, serving really good Indian and Bangladesh food, is Aroma. They have eat-in and takeaway, but if you want to eat in, you'll need to make a booking as they tend to fill up, and you do get a discount for takeaway. Also across the street is Ali Bani, which serves wood-fired pizzas, and they also have eat-in or takeaway. Directly next door to you, with a great beer garden and a really cozy pub, is the New Old Inn. We thought they had a really good atmosphere, both inside and outside, and their food was good too. And don't forget, you can go to the Croft for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but we also would recommend Smith's, which is just behind the Croft. These brothers have come up with some innovative burgers and do a good job presenting them. For activities, You have the model village, which is a miniature replica of the village of Bourton-on-the-Water, which is just 2 doors down on the other side of the new old inn. And across the street from there, you have Birdland, which is an amazing collection of birds, some reptiles, and a really interesting exhibit about dinosaurs and their connection to us through birds and reptiles. The Motor Museum sits at the other end of the village square, right next to the memorial. It's a super family-friendly museum with cars, caravans, motorcycles, signs, and even Brum, the little BBC superhero car. The Windrush Way is a 13.5-mile walk through the countryside and along the Windrush River between Bourton-on-the-Water and Winchcombe. You should allow 6 miles to do the whole walk, but it's easily worth just doing a portion along the river and out to the A429, which is the Fosse Way and takes you to the next location. That's an easy walk from town. About a mile from Halford House and the village is Hawkstone Brewery, Jeremy Clarkson's foray into the world of all things beer. At the brewery, they have a tasting room where they serve flights as well as pints. There are generally at least 2 food trucks there and sometimes even a wood-fired pizza maker. For a more comprehensive list and reviews of many of these things, watch the full videos.
We're staying at the Halford House.
Yes, Halford House.
I think that's what I said. Halford House. All right.
You've been playing with a dog.
Okay.
And we'll take you on a tour of the I keep wanting to call it a cabin or a cottage, but
Yeah.
we'll take you on a tour of the apartment. She
Yeah.
calls it the private garden apartment. So we'll take